Hi guys, and welcome back to my next video in this series where I try to solve Python interview questions. And let's just jump straight into it. So we're back at stratascratch.com. We're going to coding questions. This time I'll try to tackle a hard question. And the company I'll choose, let's say it will be Microsoft. Okay, so the very first hard question is premium versus freemium. So let's see what's it all about. All right. So we have three data frames: MS user dimension, MS ACC dimension, and MS download facts. So probably we'll have to merge something. So first, let's just read what the task says. Find the total number of downloads for paying and non-paying users by date. Include only records where non-paying customers have more downloads than paying customers. The output should be sorted by earliest date first and contain three columns: date, non-paying downloads, paying downloads. Okay, so let's see how we can connect these data frames and what they have. So the first one, MS user dimension, has user ID and account ID. So will be probably our middle data point that we'll have to connect. Then MS ACC dimension. So let me just copy this and see what it contains. Okay, so it has the account ID and whether the account is a paying customer. It's a value of no or yes, a Boolean value. Good. And the third data frame is MS download facts, which has the actual date, the user ID, and downloads. So let me just check it out to see how the data looks. Okay, so we have different dates, user IDs, and downloads. So this approach that I'm going to make first is that I have to join these data frames into one coherent piece of information. So I'm thinking I will start with MS download facts, since downloads information is the one that I'll be looking for. I will connect the user ID to the MS user dimension user ID so that I can use this account ID to connect it to this MS account dimension account ID. And I can see if the actual user here is a paying customer or no. And then we can see where we go from there. So let's just jump into it, right? So first, let me name our merge data frame df. That's what I name everything. So we'll start with ms download facts dot merge. We have to merge it with ms user dimension. Since both of these have user ID, I have to specify on equals user ID. Let's see. Oh, and before running it, I want to make sure that I only use the rows that are in here. So I have to specify the method of joining. So it's a left join. I'm not sure if by default this would be an outer join. So that's why I'm making sure that this is for sure a left join. If you don't know what that means, it means that I only take the columns that are in here and see if I can match them with the columns that are in here. If there are some columns that are here but not here, they won't be listed in this data frame. Okay, so let's run it. All right, so we have our dates, user IDs, and we have the connected account IDs to our user IDs. So without creating any new lines, we can just continue merging. We write that merge, and we merge it with our final piece of the puzzle, which is MS account dimension. And we specify on equals, this time we merge account ID with account ID, ACC ID. And once again, I want to specify that this will be a left join. Right. Good. So now we have the date, the actual user ID, how many downloads he made, and whether that user is a paying customer. The information that I'm going to use is only this date column. How many downloads that particular row had and whether that particular row is a paying customer or not. I don't really care if about the user ID and the account ID. I only use them to connect these data frames. So I'll specify the columns that I'm going to use. So in this case, I'm using date, downloads, and paying customer. Okay, let's see how it looks. Close enough. Now, one more thing I want to do is I want to sort by date so that it goes in ascending order. So I go df equals df dot sort values. I specify date here. Good. So now we have all of the downloads. As we can see, date, 6 downloads, paying customer. Date, 2 downloads, paid customer, and so on. All right. The next thing I want to do is I want to have, for each date, I want to have a number of paid customer total downloads and the non-paid customer total downloads. So to do that, I think I'll go with the group by method. Right, df.group by. We group by two things, by the date and then by paying customer. We specify download and that we want to have the sum of all of this, of all of the group by object rows, right? So we group by for each day and for each category, we sum up all of these downloads values. Let's see what we get. Okay, so we're almost correct here. We only get the actual download values, but we don't see which day and customer category combination it represents. To do that, we simply need to specify that this group by list is not set as index because by default it's an index. Index equals false. Now it should, yes. So each date has 2 rows, one for non-paying customers, one for paying customers, and each row has its value. So we have on 15th of August, we have 11 non-paying customers and 19 paying customers, or to be exact, their downloads. Now, let's go back to our question and see what we have to do next. Find the total number of downloads for paying and non-paying users by date. Well, we kind of did that. Include only records where non-paying customers have more downloads than paying customers. Okay, that's something that we'll have to do, but I think we'll do that at the very end. The output should be sorted by earliest date first and contain 3 columns: date, non-paying downloads, and paying downloads. Okay, so that's what we have to do next. We have to reshape our data frame so that it only has the date, how many non-paying customers, and how many paying customers. Because right now it's shaped in an opposite way. It's transposed. So the easiest way to do that is to have two separate data frames, one for the whole pool of paying customers and one for the whole pool of non-paying customers. Let me show you what I mean. I'll create a new data frame called paying equals data frame paying customer equals yes. So only take those values where the pay customer is yes. Okay, good. Oh, by the way, I forgot to set this to be the new data frame. And we do the exact same thing for non-paying customers. So we write down non-paying equals all of this equals no. Run. Good. So we have two data frames, one with paying customers, one with non-paying. Now we take the data frame and we assign it to be a merge product of paying dot merge non-paying. We merge them on equals date, since each of these two data frames only have one row of date. Uh, paying, non-paying on date. Um, well, let's see what we get now. Okay, so we have the date. We have paying customer X, paying customer Y. So we only need the date. This downloads X and this downloads Y. And to be sure what this X and Y stands for, we need to change the suffixes of our columns. So the first suffix, this will be a list of two suffixes. Suffixes is this very end at each column. When there's duplicate columns, we need to specify unique suffixes so that we know which one comes from which data frame. So since the first one is paying here, our first suffix will be P, and our second suffix would be N for non-paying, paying and non-paying. And also, let's only have the three columns that we need, which is date, comma, downloads P in this case, because this will be changed from X to P, and downloads N. Good. Let's see if it works. It does seem like it works. So we have each day, how many P downloads and how many N downloads have, how many paying and non-paying downloads we had on that day. So the final thing we need to do is if we go back to the question wants us to include only records where non-paying customers have more downloads than paying customers. So once more, we create a new line and we equals df where non-paying have more. So downloads N. Sorry for that. I need to specify one more df where downloads N is more than downloads if downloads. Okay. So only have 4 rows. We click check solution and see if it works. Solved. Okay, and just like that, we've solved our very first hard question. If you like this series, like, subscribe, comment, all those good things, and see you guys in the next one.